This lesson is going to cover getting started with Solidworks, opening up Solidworks, and starting a new sketch and drawing a simple part. You can find the Solidworks software in your folder on the desktop. That's the CAD/CAM folder, and you're looking for Solidworks 2014, the 64 edition. You can also go to the Start menu and find Solidworks in there. Once you open up Solidworks, you're going to find that you have a window that looks like this. It's all grayed out. Before you get started, you need to tell SolidWorks what kind of file you're going to be working for. You can do that in several ways. You can go to the File menu and go to New. You can call out the Home over here, and you can lock that out if you want to leave it visible for the whole time, and go to New Document, and it's going to launch this little dialog box. You have three choices to choose from. Today we're going to start with a basic part. Once you hit OK for your part, it's going to change your screen to white. On the left hand side here we have our history of our part, and we also have set up for us three planes to choose from for sketching. We start out by doing a 2D drawing, and then we convert that two-dimensional drawing to a 3D drawing depending on what type of part we're looking to do. If you right-click on any of these things, you can change them and make them visible. So I've just turned, by right-clicking, I've just turned my front plane on, and I'd like you to do that. Over here, these are our tabs depending on what we're working on. We have a CAM tab that we'll be dealing with later on. I'd like you to go over to the Sketch tab, which is the tab that's necessary for doing our 2D drawing to get started. We have several drawing tools over here. We're going to draw a very simple part to start. I'm just going to draw a simple circle. If you notice that when I click on the drawing tool, I'm going to click out for a moment. Because I had my front plane selected, it automatically turned that plane so we're looking at it straight on, orthographically, and centered it in our screen. I'm going to escape out of this, exit this sketch for a moment, and go back to my isometric view, and I'm going to not have anything selected, and if I go to sketch right now, it's asking me which plane do I want to pick. It says select a plane to sketch on. If I already had it selected, it's assuming that that's the plane that I want to draw on. So you can pick the right plane, the front plane, or the top plane, and I'm going to go again with the front plane just to show you that there's a couple of different ways to get there. Alright, this is my origin, and depending on the part that I'm drawing, it's usually a good idea to somehow incorporate the origin into your part. As you bring it into the CAM software, or if you're doing assemblies later on, having your part related to the origin is going to be helpful. So I now have a sketch that's active on my front plane, and I'm going to draw a simple part like a circle. Once I'm done and happy with my circle, I can cancel out. This circle doesn't have any size to it right now. I can change that and assign it a value by going up to my Smart Dimensions here and clicking on my circle and dragging out. And notice that in this case I get a diameter symbol. So it's telling me that the value of the diameter is currently 2.51. I can change that several ways. I can slide it and just drag it smaller or larger, or I can just come in here and type in a value. I'm going to make it a 2-inch circle. Now that I have this circle dimensioned, it's called a constrained sketch. It has a value, it has a location in terms of the origin. I'm going to exit my sketch, and now because this sketch is highlighted, if I go to Features, I can now extrude that sketch and give it some give it a third dimension. So I'm going to make a cylinder here. We'll make a 3-inch cylinder. Okay, so that's taken us through creating a sketch and creating a 3D solid from that sketch. Now that we have the solid, I want to take a moment to just show a couple things regarding navigation within the software. So we're currently looking at what's called an isometric view. If you use the center button on your mouse and scroll in and out, you can make that larger or smaller. Depending on where you place the mouse, it's going to zoom to a different location. Notice I put my arrow up here and it's kind of zooming out. If I put my arrow right over the part, it's going to zoom in on that part. If I hold my mouse button down, it allows me to rotate my part, which is helpful because I may want to add some features to this. For example, let's say this is the back side of my part. Maybe I want to put a chamfer on the back side of this cylinder. So I can rotate my part over, and while I have my Features tab selected, I could come up here under Fillet and find the chamfer tool, select that edge, and now we have a little chamfered edge there. Maybe I want to do the same thing to the other side. I can come back, select that chamfer tool, and put a chamfer on this edge as well. And obviously we can change the value of that chamfer at any time. So this is one way to navigate. If we come up here under this pull down menu, you're going to see that we have several view choices, and you're probably going to go to this often. If you want to change your view to one of the traditional orthographic views, straight on views, we can take a look at the bottom of this. We can scroll through, take a look at the right side, and take a look at the front view, and it's going to rotate that through for us, which is very helpful, especially when we start to get to more complicated parts. There's a bunch of other things that we can cover here. We're not going to get into all that today. I do want to show you that this sidebar over here is something that if you wanted to, you could move it and put it on your additional screen. You could deselect the pin and have it go away so you have more space to draw in. If you want to get it back, you can hit the home button and go ahead and pin it out again. That's going to be it for just getting us started here.